SolarStorm refers to a disturbance on the sun that can affect the Earth's space environment and, in some cases, even the Earth's surface. These disturbances are primarily caused by the sun's magnetic activity. There are several types of solar storms, but one of the most significant events is known as a coronal mass ejection, CME. A coronal mass ejection occurs when the sun ejects a massive burst of solar wind, solar plasma, and magnetic fields into space. This high-speed solar wind and charged particles can travel through the solar system and interact with the Earth's magnetic field. When the charged particles from a solar storm interact with the Earth's magnetic field, it can lead to various effects, such as geomagnetic storms. The impact of a solar storm on Earth can include auroras. Increased solar activity can enhance the display of auroras, commonly known as the northern lights in the northern hemisphere and the southern lights in the southern hemisphere. These colorful light displays are caused by charged particles interacting with the Earth's atmosphere. Communication and navigation disruptions. Solar storms can interfere with radio signals, satellite communication, and GPS navigation systems. The increased ionization in the Earth's upper atmosphere during a geomagnetic storm can affect the propagation of radio waves. Power grid issues. Intense solar storms have the potential to induce electric currents in power grids, leading to power outages. This is because the changing magnetic fields can induce currents in long conductors, such as power lines. Satellite damage. The increased solar radiation and charged particles can damage or interfere with the operation of satellites in orbit. While most solar storms have relatively mild effects on Earth, severe storms have the potential to disrupt various technological systems and infrastructure. Scientists and space agencies closely monitor solar activity to provide warnings and mitigate potential impacts on Earth's technology and communication systems. As of my last knowledge update in January 2022, the Sun was in solar cycle 25, which began around December 2019. Solar cycle 25 is expected to peak around the years 2024 to 2026, during which there is an increased likelihood of solar storms. NASA, the U.S. space agency, has warned of a solar storm that will disrupt the internet, electricity on Earth. According to various media reports, NASA got the information regarding the solar storm via its mission caller, Parker Solar Probe. It is a mission that launched in 2018 to unlock the mysteries of the sun's corona and solar wind. In 2021, NASA sent a spacecraft, size equivalent to a small car, to travel directly through sun's atmosphere to trace the flow of energy and determine the wind speed. According to NASA's probe, solar activity is likely to ramp up until the predicted solar maximum in 2025. The heightened solar activity poses a risk to satellites, spacecraft, and even spacewalking astronauts due to increased radiation exposure. The solar activity will also pose a risk to Earth, as it will trigger large geomagnetic storms that can interfere with high-frequency radio communications and global positioning systems, GPS. This might cause an internet outage, meaning an internet shutdown. However, the mystery regarding the date and time of such activity remains. When a solar storm or space weather event is predicted to impact Earth, there are several precautions and measures that individuals and organizations can take to minimize potential disruptions and ensure safety. Here are some general guidelines. Stay informed. Monitor official space weather forecasts and alerts from reputable sources, such as NASA's Space Weather Prediction Center, SWPC, or other relevant space agencies. Follow local news and emergency management agencies for updates on potential impacts in your region. Protect electronic devices. Unplug or turn off sensitive electronic equipment to prevent damage from power surges caused by geomagnetic activity. Consider using surge protectors for important electronic devices. Limit satellite usage. Satellite communication and navigation systems can be affected during solar storms. If possible, limit the use of satellite-dependent technologies. Prepare for GPS disruptions. If you rely on GPS navigation, be aware that disruptions may occur during a solar storm. Have alternative navigation methods available. Aviation precautions. Pilots and airlines may take precautions to avoid disruptions to aviation systems. Passengers should follow any instructions provided by airline staff. Power grid. Precautions. Power grid operators may take preventive measures to minimize the impact of geomagnetic storms. However, it's a good idea to be prepared for potential power outages. Have essential supplies such as flashlights, batteries, and food available. Aurora. Watching. If you're in a region where auroras, northern or southern lights, are visible, enjoy the natural light show. Solar storms can enhance auroras, making them more visible at lower latitudes. Emergency preparedness. Ensure that you have an emergency kit with essential supplies, including water, non-perishable food, medications, and first aid items. Follow official instructions. Adhere to any instructions or recommendations from local authorities and emergency management agencies. It's important to note that while solar storms can have significant impacts on technology and infrastructure, the majority of storms result in relatively minor effects. Scientists and space agencies closely monitor space weather and provide warnings and guidance to minimize disruptions. Following official recommendations and staying informed are key steps to take during a solar storm. In a world where economic uncertainties loom on the horizon and environmental concerns become increasingly pressing, the call to save money and resources for the future resonates more profoundly than ever. As individuals, communities, and nations grapple with the challenges of a rapidly changing landscape, a shift towards mindful consumption and financial stewardship emerges as a beacon of resilience. In the heart of bustling cities and the tranquility of rural landscapes, a shared understanding blossoms: the significance of cultivating financial health and preserving the planet for generations to come. Families, recognizing the fragility of economic stability, embark on a journey of fiscal responsibility. Budgets are scrutinized, savings are diligently nurtured, and investments are made with an eye on long-term returns. Simultaneously, a green awakening takes root. The once casual attitude towards natural resources transforms into a conscientious effort to reduce, reuse, and recycle. The mantra of sustainability guides choices in everyday life, from energy-efficient homes adorned with solar panels to community gardens that yield not just produce, but a sense of shared responsibility. Businesses, too, undergo a metamorphosis. The bottom line is no longer merely a financial metric. It's a reflection of ethical practices and environmental impact. Companies invest in technologies that optimize resource usage, implement circular economy principles, and foster innovation that harmonizes economic growth with ecological well-being. governments play a pivotal role, introducing policies that incentivize savings and environmentally friendly practices. Financial literacy programs become a cornerstone of education, empowering individuals to navigate the complex terrain of personal finance. Simultaneously, stringent environmental regulations ensure that industries operate within ecological limits. As the narrative unfolds, it becomes evident that the twin objectives of saving money and preserving resources are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they are symbiotic. The prudent management of finances lays the groundwork for economic stability, while responsible resource usage safeguards the planet's delicate balance. Together, they form a resilient foundation upon which individuals, communities, and nations can weather the storms of uncertainty and contribute to a sustainable, prosperous future. In this narrative, the journey towards financial prudence and environmental sustainability becomes a collective endeavor, weaving together the threads of fiscal responsibility and ecological mindfulness into a tapestry of resilience and hope for the times to come. Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button for more videos.